Got some cod and dal. Huh? Fancy some cod? Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Sunday Sessions. It's me and the dog. Dog's decided to run away as soon as I touched him. Oi, Dens, come here. Come here, come. What's this? Doesn't trust me because he's not being fed. Today we're making something my dog can't eat, which is dal and cod. Dal is a lentil curry, and cod we're doing a little pan roasted number with butter and curry leaves, yeah? So, from the top, in here, I have a whole bag, which is about a mug and a bit full of red lentils. Wash them as if you would rice, because you need to get all of the starch off of your lentils. The water's not going to go completely clear, but a good few washes is needed so we don't end up with glibbity globbity gloop and we've got like a smooth dal consistency, right? So, cover the dal with water. I'm going to add in a teaspoon of turmeric. Four green chilies. 4 cloves of garlic. 1 bashed up piece of lemongrass. This is going to come out, so I'm not bothered peeling it, but just bruising it to get all the natural flavours running through. It smells like sherbet. Lemongrass goes in. Got a couple slices of ginger. Again, this is going to get fished out, so it's not that much of a bother. And then just a sliced red onion. Now you're back, huh? You didn't want to do the intro, but now you want to stand there. You know, also there's nothing in the bin that you can eat today. Normally just bin hovers. Red onion in. And then all we're going to do is bring this to the boil. We're not going to season yet, because if you season the dal right at the beginning, it takes longer to cook, and what you want to do is season at the end when you've got all the flavours in it that you want, and then bring it up to season with salt. Just don't do it at the beginning. We'll get to that though. We're going to light this up. And bring to a boil. Now, the secret ingredient to a good dal is getting this stage right, of course, but it's about tempering other ingredients that we're going to add back into our dal. So tempering basically means to fry or to add flavour into something else that's going to go into our dal. So, key components: coconut oil, and then we've got aromatics. We've got garlic, red onions, chili flakes and chilies, turmeric, curry leaves, and a green chili. Now this is all going to go into some coconut oil and cook off really slowly. So I'm going to start with the red onions, and we're going to slice these quite finely, because I almost, depending on where you're cooking food from, everyone cooks things differently for different reasons. So an Indian curry, if the base tells you to fry off your onions until they've got colour, would be too far if you're cooking a base off for a ragu for the Italians. The Indians with their curries like to get loads of like deep bitter flavours on their onions, which is a different flavour profile, a different type of, like almost like background noise of food, right? So we're gonna take these quite thin so that they cook fast. So, onions are cut. I'm gonna do the same with the garlic. I'm just gonna do nice slivers. Garlic done. And I'm just gonna slice up a green chili. So that's the temper ingredients done for now. Garlic, chili, onions, we're going to set them to one side. Just while we're waiting for the dal to come up to the boil, let's season now our star of the show, which is this bit of cod. I've got 2. One's a backup, just in case to get me. Don't often burn things on Sunday sessions, but if you do, it's always good to have a backup, son. So, Cod at the minute is quite like flimsy. It's a beautiful fish that we've got in our waters. We're all used to it being deep fried, but it's a piece of fish that I really enjoy pan frying and getting a nice crispy edge on and then covering it in butter and then just putting it inside me. Now we're gonna season, bless me, all over quite generously with salt, right? And this is gonna draw the moisture out of the fish and help it firm up so that when we do eat it, it will like break and flake away and be fucking great. Not only do I put salt on mine, I go a little bit of sugar as well. Again, it's almost like a, oh bollocks. It's almost like a dry brine. Tiny bit of sugar, not loads, you're not making fucking dessert. The dal comes up to the boil. The amount of time that takes to finish the dal off, keep this on your piece of fish, right? And it will start to firm up. So our dal's been boiling away for about 20 minutes and we've got like this gloopy consistency, almost like a thick soup, right? In here now we've got the lemongrass and the ginger and all of those things that we added. What did we add to it? Lemongrass, ginger. So basically all of the things in here now we're gonna blitz together, but take out the pieces of ginger and the lemongrass and like the chilies and as many onions and garlic as you can get in. Don't use all of the dal, use a couple spoons of dal and then just wazz it and then put that back into your dal. And then I'll meet you for the next step. The reason that we're blitzing some of the mix is that I want to have almost that smoothness. And when you blitz some of the red lentils, it helps with the consistency of the whole thing. Instead of it being like separate and gloopy, we then go into territory where it's like soft and luxurious and almost like a warm, wet hummus, which is a good visualization for you. Oh, fuck me, this pan's hot, bruv. I fished out the lemongrass and the ginger, I wazzed all the other things and stuck it back in, and we've now got this like creamier consistency in our lentils. From here we can now season with salt, and I'm going to add in a whole can of coconut milk. Now the coconut milk is going to lighten it up. You should taste it, and there should be like a little background of sweetness, but we're going to add sugar to it. Already it's delicious. It needs a tiny little crack of salt, but there's a sweetiness. There's a sweetness, there's a creaminess, nice strong coconut flavour. I'm going to give it a little dash of sugar, about half a teaspoon, just to bring that coconut up to the forefront. And also, I just like a little bit of sweetness, I like contrast. Right, so lentils come up to the boil. Let's talk about our temper, yeah? Not how quickly you guys lose your temper at school, or how quickly you want to fight someone, or pull a man out of his car and fuck him up because he cut you off. A lot of you guys have got very, very short tempers, but I prefer this kind of temper, which is just cooking off these ingredients to make our dal delicious. I've got some coconut oil, and I can tell you how hot it's been today. Look at this. That's normally in solid form. Couple tablespoons of coconut oil. Coconut oil has a high smoking point, so bring it up until it's just about to smoke. You can smell it in the air. Going with our red onion. Right, so our onions are ever so slightly brown, right? Some of them are brown and crispy, some of them aren't, and that's the important part of being able to chop consistently. But this just means the onions have now let out all of their sweetness and they're starting to caramelize. I'm going to push the onions to one side just for some pan space. I'm going to try and get some coconut oil on this side. This pan handle gets so hot, man. And then we're going to go in with our garlic, with our chili, and then a little glug of oil. Smells fucking great. Coconut oil, chili. There's like sweet bitterness in the air from crispy onions. The garlic's starting to take colour. I'm gonna add in a little, I think this is 2 stems of curry leaves. If you can't get fresh curry leaves, do not use the dry ones and just leave them out. But curry leaves, if you live in London, go into your like local Asian supermarket, a little Indian shop, and ask for curry leaves. Normally in like a cellophane bag, they'll give you a whole branch. They're about 99p, but they're basically the flavour of most curries in like Sri Lanka and Kerala, where they use fresh curry leaves. And for me, that's where the best curries come from. Pinch of turmeric for colour, but also turmeric has great medicinal values. Like if you've got arthritis or a bad back or sore bum or whatever, turmeric will help you out. I once watched a girl get bit by a dog while I was on holiday in Sri Lanka, by a Rottweiler, and it punctured 2 holes into her. And this old little Sri Lankan lady came over, picked up some turmeric and packed the bite full of it, and it stopped bleeding completely. And I thought I was in another fucking realm, fam. You know, you just see some witchcraft and you're not expecting it. It was mad. Anyway, enough about my old Sri Lankan nan. We've gone in with our curry leaves, turmeric. We've got 2 dried chilies, 3 dried chilies, a teaspoon or a tablespoon of chili flake, depending on how hot you like your curries. Let this all get in there. A tablespoon of mustard seeds. As soon as those mustard seeds start to like snap, crackle and pop, we're good to go. Look at that for colour, man, it's fucking brilliant. So mustard seeds are starting to crack and pop, flavouring our oil. Our onions are completely crispy. We're gonna take this dal and we're going to pour this into our dal. Sorry, bro. My bad. Right, I'm just going to take this inside and stick it on a low heat, and we're going to cook off. We're going to cook off this bit of cod. Dal's in the back, oil coming up to temperature, and remember at the beginning where I could like wave this? You see how now it's tight and rigid? I can still get somewhat of a wave in it, but it's tensed up, right? I'm not going to do anything to this other than season it again with salt. I've patted off the moisture and the excess, and I'm just going to season the exterior as I normally would with salt, yeah? Pan's hot. We're going to go skin side down, and once it makes contact, don't fucking touch it. Right, cod's gently cooking away, and all I want to do is make a little tiny garnish to go on top. Although cod and dal and like all the butter that we're going to baste in is great, I want that element of acidity to cut through the richness of the dal, the fucking meatiness of the cod, all of those things. So in this bowl, I've just got some coriander, and I put coriander in almost everything I eat on a daily basis. It's one of my favourite things. I'm just going to slice up 4 cherry tomatoes. So I've got 2 red ones, I'm gonna do 2 yellow ones just for, hey, look at me, I'm a chef on YouTube. Just to give us a little something extra. I want you to bite into a piece of tomato and have like that excitement of acidity and freshness and zing. And then to bring out that zing in the tomato, we're gonna go with some lime juice. Tomato in, lime juice. A little bit of hey, how are you? And that's it. We're just gonna plonk that on top when it's done. Acid, freshness, vibrancy, color, green, important things, right? Right, so if you look at the cod, you see how it's gone from opaque to like flesh white on the bottom. It means that we're cooking the cod on the skin side as much as we can before we flip it, yeah? So the cod here now is cooked about 40% of the way. I want you to treat this piece of cod like a piece of steak. So instead of thyme, we're using curry leaves. I'm just gonna pull them off, like that. Let them blister in the pan. Go with a healthy amount of butter. Now I know this is a lot of butter and I can't hide it, that's a lot of butter. But that butter's gonna foam and be delicious. We're gonna flip our cod. Just like that. And I just wanna baste the buttery goodness over the top of this fish. Fish is cooked. I put some dal on the bottom of the plate. Fish is going to go on top. Like so. And then we're just going to stick on this coriander and tomatoes. And that, ladies and gentlemen, pan roast cod, dal, and a little curry leaf brat. What are you laughing?
I choke.
Okay. That, ladies and gentlemen, is dal. What are you? Why are you touching things, bro?
What do you eat that piece there?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Dal, roasted cod, coriander and tomatoes on top, and that is it. Is it not very hot, Camille?
Yeah?
It's got loads of butter in it.
I don't want this.
Yeah, exactly. It's pretty, isn't it?
You guarantee you can go up to
Why?
100.
Coconut.
Am I allowed to eat that?
You're allowed to eat coconut oil. Flaky, delicious, moist fish. And you've got like lovely.
If you eat what Hassan cooks, I'm sure you can go up to 100. You won't die very early. You go up to 100 because very healthy food we got here. Try it.
I don't know if he's being sarcastic or not. Are you being sarcastic?
Mm-hmm.
Why?
This is a healthy food person. What else you want in life? So
Yeah.
Nothing wrong. Senin şişmanlanacak bir şey var mı burada ya?
No. So look, beautiful
Oh,
flaky cod. And then we're just going to get in there a little bit of dal, a little bit of garnish. Do you get the bitterness in the dal? Does he fuck?
that's fantastic, man.
Happy?
Very happy.
Nice, man. It's just curry and fish, isn't it?
Curry and chips.
Curry and fish. You can have this with chips if you want.
You can't be.
Why are your hands so dirty? And this one's for our George,
Yeah,
because Cameron's going to box it.
before I finish it off.
Wash that pan and I'll make it now.
Bunu ne yaptık, he?
Into the sink.
Hadi ya.
Bit of dal from like all the caramelized onion. Bit of dal from all like the caramelized onions. And then like little notes of like garlic, ginger, chili flake, mustard seed, curry leaf. And then like the fucking fish is just melt in your mouth. You barely have to chew it, you just give it a couple. You can smear it like an old person, tongue against the roof of your mouth and break it down and it'd be fucking...
Chop House Films.
Can you say films?
Film.
Films.
Films.